Hello guys, today I wanted to talk to you about tank Warwick. Now I was recently criticized for running an AP Warwick, which is not what my team exactly needed. So I'm here today to tell you how stupid tank Warwick really is. So we're just starting off with his passive, Eternal Thirst. Now Eternal Thirst allows Warwick to gain some lifesteal for each of his auto attacks. Now the more auto attacks you do to a certain target, you will be dealing increased lifesteal from that. You're getting a higher percentage. Now that stacks up to 3. And it also scales by level. I find this a very useful passive for early game only, and it just practically allows you to stay alive in the jungle for much longer, and just allows some more some more survivability. It allows you to be able to go to the enemy jungle if you have to steal a buff, or if you want to steal a buff, and still be pretty much on full health after taking both your buffs and farming your wolves and raids. So this is a very useful passive, much more useful than people recognize, and it also scales well with your W and your E. This is because of the attack speed and the movement speed provided by them, allowing you to chase targets much quicker, and also getting your health back, meaning that if you can actually get someone to less than half health, you have a whole lot more chance than getting, because you'll get more lifesteal much quicker, and it's just a huge bonus to get them past half health. Pretty much you should only strive to fight if you can get them half health, because that means that's when you come in strong. Alright, so that's enough talk for the passive. Now we move on to Warwick's Q, Hungering Strike. Hungering Strike allows Warwick to swipe at an enemy, dealing magic damage for the greater value between a flat minimum amount or a percentage of the target's maximum health, plus additional bonus damage based on his ability power. Hungering Strike can only deal the flat damage to minions and monsters. Okay, so Warwick also heals himself for 80% of the damage dealt. Now this is Warwick's bread and butter. Note that if you are running AP Warwick, you can pretty much heal yourself completely with just one Q, depending of course on how much health the enemy still had left. If you can deal full damage, then you'll just be healing yourself so much that no player will be able to keep up with the amount of damage you'll be hurting and the amount of heal you'll be getting back from hurting. So with Hungering Strike, it's a short range lifesteal kind of ability, but of course in spell vamp, and you'll be dealing flat damage, or you'll be dealing percentage damage to champions, which is super useful because it deals 16% of a target's maximum health plus 100 AP scaling on top of that, 100% AP. Now 16%, alright, that's practically a Blade of the Ruined King. And note that you actually heal 80% of it plus your AP on top of that, so you will heal more than a Blade of the Ruined King. Now this is why I find AP Warwick much stronger than having an AD Warwick. So with Hungering Strike, you can just decimate half health of an enemy and completely heal yourself back up. It's quite beautiful. Alright, so now we're going to move on to Warwick's W, Hunter Score. For 10 seconds, Warwick increases his attack speed and increases the attack speeds of all his allies within range by half as much. Now, what people don't notice or don't use as often is the fact that you can actually use this as an effect to buff your allied champions. So you get at level 1 40% attack speed. When you max it out, you get 80% attack speed increase. So you can buff your ally for 40% all around you. All your allies for 40%. That should be practically as strong as an ultimate. That is extremely strong, and I have no idea why he's not played that much, because his skill set is just amazing. As I've told you before, also Hunter Score goes very well with Warwick's passive because it increases his attack speed, allowing you to get more health back much faster if you're running AD, of course. It also has quite a short cooldown, so you'll be able to run it in team fights maybe 2 or 3 times. Now moving on to his E, Blood Scent. Now Blood Scent is a toggle ability, and it will give you movement speed, and I'm pretty sure now it also gives you additional attack speed. They should really change it in the League of Legends wiki, because I'm pretty sure it still gives attack speed and movement speed. I think it gives, when maxed out, I think it gives 50% attack speed extra. So Warwick reveals enemy champions within range less than 50% health. While any enemies are revealed this way, Warwick has increased movement speed. Now, this is great for chasing down your targets. 40% movement speed bonus. That's like having a Talisman of Ascension. Now, with Warwick's E, you have to be careful when you're going to toggle it on exactly. If you are going to gank a lane, you are going to want to come into a lane without it toggled on. Now this is a problem that a lot of Warwicks face. They always leave this on as they're coming to gank a lane, and then the enemy already suspects that they're going to be ganked and already start backing off, because they know Warwick has a very strong lane presence and assassination presence. So it's best to take it off until you are in the middle of your ultimate. You can activate it straight through the middle of your ultimate. So that way your ultimate will take them down to half health, and you will activate Blood Scent straight away, and it will be toggled on and kept on because they'll be stunned. So you'll also have extra attack speed and extra movement speed. I don't know why the League of Legends wiki doesn't show the attack speed. So yeah, you can pretty much hunt down any enemies nearby. I've recently, but the thing is, Blood Scent will not show the enemy where you are, but it will show the enemy that you are around them, or quite close, like close enough for a gank, close enough for a jungle steal or something like that, but of course only if they are on half health or less. Now moving on to his ultimate, Infinite Duress. Now this, I find this as one of the most powerful ultimates. Warwick blinks to the front of an enemy champion and channels for 1.5 seconds. Suppressing the target for 1.8 seconds and dealing magic damage 5 times in 1 to 3 second intervals. Warwick gains 30% lifesteal for the duration. Each damaging strike applies on-hit effects, lifesteal, and maximum stacks of Eternal Thirst. Okay, so as you know, straight away as you use Infinite Duress, your Warwick's passive will be maxed out completely to the 3 stacks. Now this is an AD ability. What people don't know is that it's done in AP damage. Even though it scales off with the AD, it's dealt as magic damage. So if you are thinking of running this with lifesteal, you're only going to get the 30% lifesteal from the actual ability proc itself. You're not going to get the lifesteal from your items or whatever on top of that, because it will be in AP damage, it will be in magic damage. So you're much better off running AP Warwick than AD Warwick. That's first of all. Now back to the main subject of running tank Warwick. I find it the absolutely most stupid thing that anybody could ever do in League of Legends. Warwick only has one CC ability, and that CC ability is his ultimate. The cooldown at max rank is 70. You will not be doing that several times in a team fight. I'm sorry, but a team fight will not go for 70 seconds. So I don't know why you would want to run tank Warwick with only one CC in the whole fight. Sure, you want your Warwick to be able to take a fight and take quite a few hits. But if you run AP Warwick with Infinite Duress, first of all, you'll be healing yourself completely with your ultimate, as if it were a Blade of the Ruin King on an AD champion. Second of all, his Q, if you run AP Warwick, will heal you to max health, no matter how low you are. It's just completely overpowered, and people choose not to realize it, how strong it is, and you just deal so much damage that you just destroy everything in your path, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. The only thing that's possible is to cancel your ultimate, but of course you want to target an enemy champion who is either by themselves or really badly positioned, so that if anybody else came, they would be dead too, or at least they would be in a great disadvantage, because the rest of the team would be, I don't know, in other lanes or doing Baron, or your team is completely around that one player. So if anybody else was to come in there, they'd be the next person to be completely stunned and shut down. So I take Warwick as an AP assassin. Even in his stats in League of Legends Wikia, or if you look at him on the champion buying in the champion store, you will notice that he has the same defense power as the ability power, very high attack power. I'm sure that running Warwick is great in attack power, but just as a top champion, he's great as an attack power champion. But I find him extremely useless if you are going to run jungle Warwick. Jungle Warwick must be run AP. Must, because otherwise you lose the sense of being a jungler to surprise your target. You're not going to run and slap the enemy's ballsack, and they're just going to be walking away from you, and they're not even going to be scared. They have enough time to call their teammates, because you're just going to be dealing sustained damage. They can move away, they can flash away, they can exhaust you, they can dash away, anything. If you're running AP Warwick, you ult in, there's nothing they can do about it for those 1.8 seconds, and 1.8 seconds might seem like nothing, but it feels like Warwick ulti forever. You want to put your E on either straight as you're about to ultimate, or right during the ultimate, so the enemy has no chance of seeing you, or sensing that you're nearby, of course, by being afflicted by the debuff. Well, it's not a debuff, but a buff for you, but a debuff in a way that you can be seen very easily, and you have no way to escape, because straight after the ultimate, straight after Warwick has finished clawing you, you are still practically grounded. You cannot flash away. And Warwick can throw a Q down straight after his ultimate and just insta kill you. He doesn't need his ally to cooperate with him. His ally could be back there taking CS, scratching his nutsack, and you could just be ranking up the kills, just assassinating people. They wouldn't even know you're there, and they just get completely pissed off and would lower their morale, lower their team's morale, and that's practically how you win a game. So running tank Warwick, you've only got one CC ability, his ultimate. Now, let me tell you this, what's better, a tank Warwick, or a tank Leona, or a tank Thresh, or a tank Nunu, or a tank Blitzcrank, or a tank Cho'Gath? You've got so much more to work with. You've got such utility, such so much CC that you can inflict onto your enemies, and they have nothing they can do about it. And you've only got one for the whole fight, for only 1.8 seconds. Now that's going to do nothing. That's going to also keep you in stasis as well as the enemy. You're not just suppressing the enemy, you're suppressing yourself by doing that. Which means that if you're running, say, AD Warwick, I'm sorry, but the 30% lifesteal, it's not going to keep you alive during your ult. You're going to get bursted down, because running AD Warwick is not that tanky at all. If you run AP Warwick with, say, Rylai's, liandry's, not that liandry's you really need, but you need that health. You're using it more for the health than the passive, but it is okay to poke and get your enemy out of lane. You don't always want to kill your enemy, you just want to get them out of lane so that your ally can free farm or take a tower. You just really want to do that. You just want to build tanky AP Warwick, but just so he can last during his ultimate, and you'll be getting a whole lot more health back through your ultimate than if you were an AD Warwick or a tank Warwick, which means you'll practically be invincible during your ultimate unless their whole team is bursting you down. And even that is, for that kind of cooperation, your team would have to be really stupid and you'd have to be by yourself, or you just have to be really stupid to ultimate right in front of the middle of the enemy team, while none of your team members are around, even though that is your the initiation. You just want to target that one player who's off by themselves and take them down, so it's a 4v5 and your team has a great advantage. Or they're out of reach, they're hiding in the bush, say near blue, and the rest of the team is at mid. You can just ultimate, Q, dead, and there's nothing the enemy team can do about it. Even if there's one person attacking you, you're going to survive. There's 2 people attacking you, you're going to survive. There's 3 people attacking you, you'll probably survive. Very highly probably you'll survive. And if there's 4 people, you have low chance of surviving. 5 people, no way of surviving through your ult. But you know, it's still such a powerful ultimate to run as an AP Warwick, because you can just get health and assassinate people. There's nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing. And also the range is quite amazing, so you know, you've got a huge gap closer that they can't even see you dash in. It's just a blink. It's beautiful. And I think Warwick should be the most played 450 champion, not Ashe or Soraka or Sivir. Like when Sivir got her new when she got her new, whatever it's called, when she got the new icons and the new classic skin, I find it really stupid that people were playing her, even though she was very broken, especially in a ram. Like, her poke is just insane in a ram. She's still quite like, she's just a standard ADC. You can just hit everything. You've got a whole lot more farm ability, but you can't get that satisfaction from killing someone with complete surprise and outplaying them like Warwick. It's just another level of joy for jungling. Alright, I guess I'll see you guys later.